Don't know if y'all are aware of this or not. A lot of you are. A lot of you aren't. I did a video earlier. It is freaking cold here, guys. It is extremely cold here. Now, we have a Christmas tradition where I go over to my parents' house on my birthday, which is today. Today is my birthday, guys. Can't believe I'm 40 years old. Man, it's crazy. I cannot believe that I'm 40 years old. But anyways, the Christmas tradition is on Christmas Eve, which is my birthday. We always go over to my parents' house and we do kind of a combination type of thing where we do my birthday and we also do Christmas because we got kids now, so we do Christmas for them with the grandparents. So it's a nice Christmas tradition, and it actually started with my dad's parents because we would go over to and this is how we call them in West Virginia. Everybody has different names for their grandparents, but we call our grandparents Mama and Papa. So my Mama and Papa, uh, that's how we started it, and then now my kids, my mom, papa, is my mom and dad. So it's a good time. I have fun. Thank you, Wiki, for the $2 donation. Really appreciate it. Pretty good birthday so far. The only thing I really can complain about is the daggum cold. My gosh, is it cold? And I don't know if we're low on Freon or some pipes froze up or whatever, but our heater can't keep up with just how cold it is. It's working to some degree because it's not absolutely freezing in my house, but it's still cold to the point to where I'm putting on a couple layers. So I'm actually at my parents' house. That's why I mentioned the Christmas tradition. That's why the background's different. I'm actually at my brother's YouTube studio. Um, Inner circle, by the way. He's getting it going. He'll get there. He'll get there. Great studio, man. I'm telling you guys, if I started out like this, he's got a head start on me as far as whenever how I started my YouTube channel, what I had available, what he has available is a little bit ridiculous for a channel that's just starting out. Let me just be honest with you. This is a little bit ridiculous for a channel that's just starting out. I mean, it took me forever to get anywhere close to this, and his studio might actually have mine beat. I'm telling you. The only thing that I like better about my studio is the mini helmets. That's about it. Everything else, this is how you start it, man. I got to tell him he's starting off on the right foot with his YouTube channel. David Cummings, thank you for the $2 donation. Appreciate it, buddy. 40 years old. 40 years old, guys. It does not feel like it. It doesn't feel like it at all. It really doesn't. I was actually talking to my parents earlier today, and I remember whenever my dad turned 40, and the church that we went to at the time did like a whole, over the hill black balloon type of party, and that doesn't seem like it happened more than 5 minutes ago. And now I'm like, dang, God, now I'm that. Whoa, when did that happen? When did that happen? So, but you know what? I don't get down about it. A lot of people when they get older, they're like, man, what have I done with my life? Life goes by too fast. What's going on? This needs to slow down. And I understand all those thoughts and, rationale. But here's the thing. You have two choices. And it's get older or die. So I'm enjoying getting older. Okay. So 40, we made it. Didn't know if we'd get to 40 or not. There was some dicey situations. Probably the biggest dicey situation. How old was I? 20 years old. 20 years old. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but when I was 15 years old, I was diagnosed with Crohn's and spondylitis, right? Well, they had me on this strong NSAID arthritis medicine for my spondylitis. Problem is, I also had Crohn's, which made my stomach and everything sensitive. And that stuff ate a hole through my freaking stomach. But I didn't know it until it was almost too late. I had a perforated ulcer that ruptured. Had to have emergency surgery. I mean, I remember that day very, very vividly. I remember the drive to the emergency room. My brother, lucky that he was home because I was sent early from work because, it was just starting. My stomach was just starting to hurt a little bit. I thought, I need to go home. So they sent me home, and I got home at a time where not very many people were home. lucky my brother was home. Otherwise, I could have died. But he got me to the hospital. But I remember that drive to the emergency room. He was doing probably 80, maybe 100. And I was telling him, man, you got to go faster. He's like, man, I'm going as fast as I can. Because, yeah, I mean, seriously, I thought I was going to die. But we got there in time. And the hospital near where we lived was one of those smaller hospitals. It was still a good one, but it was smaller. And my mom wanted them to transfer me over to the bigger one, which was Greenville Memorial. And they told my mom that if they transfer me from this hospital to that one and wait till then to do surgery, I would have died. So, yeah, we had a couple close calls. But we made it. We're here. Golden Blue wouldn't have existed if that would have happened. So, special shout out. Don't know if they'll ever see this live video. Don't ever know if they'll ever see Golden Blue, but special shout out to the surgeons that worked on me and saved my life, because without you guys, Golden Blue wouldn't exist. And without you guys, the subscribers and the viewers, there would be no Gold and Blue Dude. And I want to talk about this real quick. All right, Patreon page, right? During the regular season, we do score prediction contest every week, guaranteed winner, $20. And then we did the championship where the prize is $25, which we do have a winner. Congratulations to Robert Gurney. He won the championship week prediction contest. And we're in the midst of the bowl prediction contest. So those of you that were able to join Patreon before the bowl prediction contest, you're in the middle of that. Winner of that is going to get $50. And just because the regular season and the bowl season and the championships are done and over with, that does not mean that the winning stops here at Golden Blue Dude. The first thing that we're going to do is every month we're going to have a drawing where I pay for a Patreon's membership for that month, and that's going to be every month. You could be a $5 Patreon, $10 Patreon, it doesn't matter. If I draw your name, I am paying for your membership for that month, and we will do that month after month after month. And March Madness, I'm looking forward to March Madness. We're going to set up a nice contest for that. Haven't really thought of the prizes for that just yet, but we will get that nailed down. The prizes for the bowl prediction contest: first place prize, of course, $50. Second place prize is going to be an autographed Golden Blue Dude flat bill hats. I don't have it with me, so I can't show it to you, but they were in the promos. And third place prize is going to be a shout out. So we're going to keep the winning continue. So yeah, we try to reward our Patreon members. So whenever you get a chance, you don't have to right now, but whenever you get a chance, go check out Patreon. We've got a lot of great perks over there. And the contests will never end. Preseason, regular season, postseason, off season, doesn't matter. We're going to keep it coming. And I thought a great way, you know what? What better way to celebrate my birthday today than to talk about conference realignment, right? Right? I mean, that seems appropriate to me. Seems appropriate. Celebrate Golden Blue Dude's birthday. Let's talk about conference realignment. I did a video earlier today about, part of the exit strategy for Texas and Oklahoma. They've come to an agreement with the Big 12. Looks like they'll be headed to the SEC in 2024. But part of that was making sure to keep some of those Big 12 games in schedule just out of conference in 2024. I don't know what their schedule is going to look like in 2024, because the way they laid it out, it almost seems like they can't have any Group of Five or FCS out of conference games, because all of their out of conference games are going to be Big 12 games. So they're going to have, will they have to trim down their SEC schedule? I don't know, because the way they laid it out, it looks like that they have to schedule at least, 6-8 Big 12 teams in 2024. So honestly, the math doesn't add up. I saw what they talked about. So Texas and Oklahoma, of course, they're going to play each other from now till the end of eternity. They're going to the SEC. They're a great rivalry. There's a lot of money in that. So they're going to play each other forever, basically. But then there was other stuff laid out where, so for Oklahoma, they were going to play Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State guaranteed home and home both years. That's 4 games right there. That's 4 games right there. How is this going to work? How is this going to work? I don't know. I'm going to let them figure it out. But I think the point of this video was, and the video that I made earlier was, I think this is a move by the Big 12 to set themselves up to make sure that they will be guaranteed to be, still standing when other conferences fall. I think the Pac-12 is on the shakiest of all grounds. I think the ACC is on shaky grounds. I've said it several times. I think that those 8 teams required to vote to dissolve the ACC, they do exist. I keep hearing it over and over from many different sources. So I truly believe that those 8 teams exist. And then, wherever those teams are promised for a landing spot. And, I've done several videos on where I think North Carolina and Duke. I think North Carolina and Duke are going to the same place. Big Ten, maybe. SEC, maybe. I don't know. But they're going together. I 100% think that Clemson and Florida State are going to the SEC. That's a no-brainer. Is it going to be Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, and Duke? Or is it going to be Clemson, Florida State, I don't know, maybe an NC State, maybe a Virginia Tech, maybe it's that combo? I don't know. Big Ten, fairly confident that they're going to pick up Georgia Tech and Virginia. Those 2 for sure. Is it going to be Georgia Tech, Virginia, North Carolina, and Duke? That'd be a great pickup right there. All AAU status. You got to keep that in mind. Virginia Tech is in the process of trying to get AAU status, but they don't have it yet. And that's a big deal for Big Ten membership. So we'll see if that happens. Miami says that they're pursuing AAU membership. Not sure if they'll get there or not. I don't think the SEC is interested in Miami at all. They are interested in Florida State. Don't think they would pick up Miami. I think Miami in the Big 12 is a great idea. I've done a video on that as well. So if the Big 12 were to pick up Miami, I mean, hey, that's a traveling partner for you, UCF. That's a great brand. That's going to help with your TV deal, right? Because in this new Big 12 TV deal, picking up more Group of 5 teams doesn't guarantee any type of revenue increase when it comes to the TV deal for the Big 12. But Power 5 per team could increase up to 67% depending on how much that particular brand is worth. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's wishing me happy birthday. I see you guys. I see y'all in the chat. I'm just rambling over here. Let me buzz through the chat real quick and do my shout outs. Devil Dog 44, good to see you here, bud. Winky in the house, appreciate the $2 donation. Sorgy Stories, great supporter there. Eric Wallace, I see you, man. Gamecock Chuck, we got some South Carolina subscribers in the house. Joey, posing as Golden Blue Dude in the chat. Appreciate it, Joey. Keeping things locked down in the chat. Brian Lewis, I see you. Rodney Durrett, Hillbilly Skeptic, man. I got your mini helmet. I haven't forgot about that. I'm going to do my shout outs. I actually have several shout outs I need to do, but it's been so busy and crazy. I haven't been able to do it. So since the last time I've done a shout out, I've gotten a Texas mini helmet. I've got the Kentucky mini helmet. I got a Cal flag. I got a Hawaii flag. What else? There was a bunch of other things. And he didn't just send a Kentucky mini helmet. He also sent some Kentucky decals. So appreciate that. Ballard Sports Media in the house. Appreciate you, buddy. Keep on grinding on your YouTube channel as well. David Cummings in the house. Appreciate the donation. Let's see here. We got Paxton, man. I see you. Jonathan Ezel. Hopefully is it Jonathan Ezel or Ezel? One of those has to be correct. TND_Big Jacks coming back. Very good supporter right there. JJ in the house. Vandy Dandy. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Welcome back to the channel. Jay Glizzy 1999. Dude comments all the time. Helps with the YouTube algorithm. Trust me, comments and hitting the like button. So if you haven't hit the like button for this live show, we would greatly appreciate it. Even if you don't like me or you don't like college football, it just helps this video hit the YouTube algorithm. So if you would, please take a quick second to hit that like button. Brendan Baker, I see you, man. Did I miss anybody? Making sure I didn't miss anybody. Sam Bostic, man, I see you in the chat. Easy money, easy money. No, I didn't forget about you either. Travis Garnett, Kevin Wood. I'm not going to shout out Nightbot. Just me. I see you. Just me. And then one more. This one's tricky to pronounce. Kwuksu. Is that right? Kwuksu? Silas in the house. I see you. And good old George in the house. Good old George, man. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So how do y'all feel about the situation? Y'all think the Big 12 is in the best position to continue as a power conference? I truly do think that the ACC and the Pac-12 are in big trouble. I know that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm super wrong. I don't know about that, but who knows? But the Big 12, I think they're in the best position. I think they have the best brands, and I think they're out there making moves. Dude, this time I'm actually doing a live show.
Yeah, bro.
I'm trying to help you out. You're interrupting a live show. Yeah, for real. This is live. I can't go back and edit you out. I can't. Dude, serious. I can't go back and edit you out of this. I'm literally live. Remember, did I not try to help my brother out earlier, right? I shouted his YouTube channel out, all that stuff, and then he just like straight up invades my live show. Not cool, man. Not cool. Sam Vlogs Bay. I see you, man. Anyways, man, now I lost my train of thought. Appreciate it. Lost my train of thought now. Oh, yeah. Anyways, Big 12. I do think they're in the best position. And, you know, what do I get dumped on the most for? When I made the prediction that West Virginia was going to go to the ACC back in 2021, everybody keeps reminding me that, oh, you predicted West Virginia to go to the ACC. Yes, I did. And there is proof out there, and I've done videos on it. There is actual proof out there that the ACC was interested in West Virginia, and they were talking. And that's actually the reason why West Virginia extended their runway at the airport. The problem is I gave a timeline. That was my fault. My sources did not give me a time. That was strictly me. Big time blunder. And I will never, ever live that down. All right. I was excited. I thought it was really going to happen because the ACC and West Virginia were talking. And I got carried away. I admit it. I got carried away and I screwed up. And that'll be on my back until, you know, I'm long gone. Here lies Golden Blue Dude, who said that West Virginia was going to the ACC. That's probably what it'll read. But anyways, my point is, yes, I was excited about that. And yes, I've always wanted West Virginia to go to the ACC because I thought that's where they fit best. But you know what? If those 8 teams needed to vote to dissolve the ACC exist, I would be thrilled. And don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for the Big 12. I just don't think we fit in the Big 12 very well. But I would be thrilled, not just happy, not just grateful, but thrilled to be in the Big 12 if the ACC crumbles and the Big 12 were able to pick up teams like Pitt, Louisville, Syracuse. Those 3 for sure. Don't know about Virginia Tech. Maybe the SEC picks up Virginia Tech. Maybe the Big Ten picks up Virginia Tech if they get AAU status. I don't know. If Virginia Tech was that 4th member, ball game. Happy, going to way more road games. And I am going to do a video about this. And the video is going to be titled something like, How Conference Realignment Has Hurt Some Fan Bases. And I would argue that West Virginia is probably the number 1 fan base that's been hurt the most by conference realignment because I can't go to very many road games because they're all Southwest. And, you know, we do have some supporters and alumni that have a lot of money and it's easy for them. And West Virginia does travel well, but I can't do it. Whenever we were in the Big East, when West Virginia was in the Big East, you know, going to Blacksburg, going to, you know, Cincinnati, which we can again now, going to, you know, just all the teams in the Big East. Backyard Brawl, which I just went to last year. Very happy about that. That's the main thing that's hurting West Virginia. A lot of us average West Virginia fans that don't have a lot of money, we can't go to these away games because they're halfway across the country. So if we go out and we can pick up those 4 teams, I mean, I could go to a lot more away games. I mean, that Backyard Brawl, even though it was a away game, my gosh, that was so much fun. That was actually that was probably the funnest game besides the ending that sucked. And if you go back and watch the game, West Virginia actually was controlling that game. We were the better team, but that one decision on 4th and inches, not go for it and punt, ruined it. We lose. But overall, it was the best game experience I've ever had. Virginia Tech, the home game, that was probably my second best simply because we were playing Virginia Tech and it was a home game and the crowd was the rowdiest I had ever seen it. I am jacked to go to the Backyard Brawl this year in Morgantown. Don't care about who the head coach is, Neil Brown, Joe Schmo. Don't care. It's the Backyard Brawl. Don't care if Penn State beats us by 40. It's the Backyard Brawl. I am going. I am not going to miss it. It's happening. And I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's absolutely, it's going to be probably even funner than this past year's Backyard Brawl. This crowd is going to be jacked up. So if we're able to get those 4 teams, Syracuse is way up there, but I think that's still more doable than, closest road game now in the Big 12 is Iowa State. So UCF, that's still doable. We just went to Disney this past year. It's not that far away. I mean, 8-9 hour drive, that's doable. Definitely doable. Compared to like a 14-hour drive or a 15, 16-hour drive, it's tough. And I definitely can't afford flying all the time. That would not a good decision financially on my part. Maybe in the future, if we can grow this channel exponentially, I can start flying to away games. But we'll cross that bridge whenever it happens. But my point is, being able to go to Cincinnati to watch West Virginia play again, to Pittsburgh like I did this past year, Backyard Brawl, excellent. Yes, Syracuse, I would make the trip up there for sure. Virginia Tech, Blacksburg. I know we went to Blacksburg this year, and I didn't get to go. It's because I had to pick between one or the other. I chose the Backyard Brawl. Unfortunately, I picked the rivalry game that we lost. So there's that. But still, it was a great experience. So that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Listen, I know on the outside looking in, it's like, man, why does he keep complaining about being in the Big 12? He should be grateful. And I am. I really am. But, all right, let me look through the chat and see here. So imagine if you were, for instance, let's say a South Carolina fan, all right? Let's say you're a South Carolina fan and you don't get to play Clemson every year, and you don't get to play Georgia every year. You're playing teams out in the Southwest. That would change your perspective on the conference that you're in. You would be grateful that you're in a power conference, but it wouldn't be the same. Same thing for Kentucky fans. Imagine not being able to play Louisville. And I know Louisville is an out-of-conference game, but let's take it off the board. That's a rivalry game. So it is comparable to the Backyard Brawl and Black Diamond Trophy, right? You can't play Louisville anymore. You can't play Tennessee anymore. You can't play South Carolina anymore, Missouri, any of the SEC East teams that you play out. You can't play them anymore. You're in the Big 12. You're playing but for you, that wouldn't be as bad of a trip. Let's say you're in the Pac-12, Kentucky going to the Pac-12. That would change your perspective on the conference that your team is in. I mean, even teams in the Pac-12, USC and UCLA fans, y'all are in for a rude awakening whenever it comes to away games. Now, y'all have a lot of wealthy supporters, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But the way you view the conference that USC is in, it's going to change. You're going to make a lot of money, and I do think that USC will be successful, but it won't feel the same. You won't feel like you fit into that conference quite as well as the Pac-12. The fit is going to be a little bit weird. It's an amazing conference. Saying that it's not a good fit and saying it's an amazing conference, that's two separate things. The Big Ten is an amazing conference. I am not saying it's not. It is. That was a great move. But for the fan base, it's going to be weird. I mean, West Virginia is in the Big 12, has been in the Big 12 for over a decade, and it's still weird. It's still, the fit's still like, man, it's just, we've gotten used to it, yes, but in the back of your head, you're like, it's still not the same. It's not the same as playing Syracuse and Pitt and Virginia Tech, Miami, Boston College, all the old Big East, Louisville, even Cincinnati there for a while. It's just not the same. It's not. So even USC fans will have to go through this. And even though USC fans, a large majority of them are wealthy enough to where they can fly to away games, it's still going to be different. It's still going to take some getting used to. And your mind's still going to be like, man, I remember whenever we played Washington every year. Well, not every year, but a lot of the time. I remember when we played Oregon a lot. I remember when we played Utah a lot. And I know Utah hasn't been in the Pac-12 for that long, but still, that's become a nice little rivalry. I remember when Colorado came to the Pac-12. It's going to be a lot of, man, this is so different from what we're used to. So, but the bright spot for USC is they're going to a conference that's going to outlast everybody along with the SEC. Then it's going to be, is it going to be the ACC that falls? Is it going to be the Pac-12 that falls? Is it going to be the Big 12 that falls? Is it going to be a combination of the two? Because I don't think there's room for 5 power conferences for the foreseeable future. That's just my opinion. I don't think the room is there. I don't think there's enough money to go around, to be honest with you, for there to be 5 Power 5 conferences. And I think the SEC and the Big Ten are just too power hungry, to be honest with you. And I'm not trying to be negative whenever I say power hungry. It's just part of life. If it's there and you can do it, you're going to try to do it. That's human nature. So it's not something that I'm like, man, SEC, Big Ten, how dare you? No, they're doing what's best for business. And if you can do it, why not, right? So the money's not going to be there for Power 5 conferences to exist. It's just not. And there will be, mark these words, guys, there will be current Power 5 teams right now. In other words, teams that are in a Power 5 conference. I don't know if it's 10 years from now. I don't know if it's 20 years from now. They're not going to be a Power 5 team. Could it be West Virginia? It could be. We have to think about that possibility. We have to think about that possibility. Seriously. We have to think about that possibility. And it's not pleasant to think about, but that possibility is definitely there. If you're a fan of a team in SEC, Big Ten, you're fine, good to go. But all these other fan bases, I think Oregon and Washington will eventually be fine. I think the brands are just too big. I think eventually they get to the Big Ten. They don't have to worry about that. What about Arizona fans? You got to think about, do we stay in the Pac-12 or do we jump to the Big 12 now? And if we wait too late, is it over and we don't have a future in a power conference? Arizona State, Colorado, Utah fans have to think about that. Utah fans have just gotten used to being a Power 5 team. Remember, they came from a group of 5, Mountain West. They haven't been a Power 5 team. No, man, we don't want to go back to that. But that's a real possibility. It could happen. I don't know. I think Utah's too good of a brand for that for that to happen, but they have to think about that. It's definitely possible. You have Oregon State, Washington State. They most definitely have to think about that. They they're not one of those brands that bring in enough money to where they're top choice. Maybe they can slide in on the very last round of conference realignment. Maybe not. So you better believe that they're thinking about it. Cal, Stanford, yes. ACC, full of teams that have to think about that possibility. Appreciate you, Tim Prangley. I know. I appreciate you. I understand.
But the ACC is full of teams that have to think about that possibility. I mean, Boston College, maybe it's inevitable for Boston College. Maybe that is their destiny. They sometime in the future, they have to think about that. It's going to happen. Or what about a Wake Forest? They just had a great couple of years in college football. I do think that they're going to take steps backwards, but they have proven that every once in a while that they can compete at a high level. The problem with Wake Forest is they don't have a very large fan base. Wake Forest fans might have to realize the fact that in the 10 years, 20 years, they're going to be in a group of 5 conference. Georgia Tech, possible. I think Georgia Tech has a future in either the Big Ten or the SEC. Big Ten specifically, they have AAU status. That's a great market to pick up. I think they'll end up in the Big Ten. The Hurricanes, think about that. Who would have ever thought that the Miami Hurricanes would have to worry about being a power team in the future? It is a real possibility. Real possibility. A possibility that I never thought I would even have to think about. But it's true. The Miami Hurricane fan base, I'm telling you guys, I'm not predicting that it's going to happen. I'm saying it's very possible. Very possible. Probably in the same region as, possibly West Virginia. If the Big 12 gets picked apart by Big 10, SEC, maybe it's one of the other 2 conferences, the ACC, the Pac-12. Maybe it's one of those 2 conferences that survive, and it's the Big 12 that gets picked apart. And if that happens, West Virginia could be one of those brands that gets left behind. It's depressing, and I'm not trying to depress people. This is Christmas. We're supposed to be celebrating a joyous time, all that stuff, right? But at the same time, you got to think about this stuff because it's definitely possible. As a West Virginia fan, we've gone through it once already where we thought we were going to miss the boat. Luckily, the Big 12 picked us up. I mean, there for a while, the SEC was talking about adding West Virginia. I've talked about that several times. It was between Texas A&M and either Missouri or West Virginia. SEC chose Missouri, so that boat sailed. The ACC was interested in either Louisville or West Virginia. They chose Louisville because West Virginia, didn't want to wait. They wanted to be safe right then and there, so we chose the Big 12. So we've been in that position as well. And, everybody says, well, it was because of academics. The fact that the ACC brought in Louisville does away with that excuse. That excuse does not exist anymore. So just don't I don't buy that anymore. Maybe 5-10 years ago I would have bought that, but knowing the academic standards and status of Louisville, I don't buy it anymore. I'm seeing people asking how old I'm actually 40, guys. The big 40. I am officially over the hill. I don't feel like I'm 40. I really don't. Like I said earlier, I remember the party that the church we were going to threw a party for my dad, and now I'm like, wait a minute, I am that age that my dad was. That I remember that party. I remember vividly that party, and now I am that age. That just it blows my mind. I definitely do not feel like I'm 40, but I am, and most people say I don't look 40. I think I stopped aging. I think I stopped aging not stopped aging, but slowed as far as aging goes, maybe 22, 23. So in the past 15 years, maybe I've aged. Why did I say aged? Why in the world did I say aged? It's not even spelled that way. Why did I say aged? I'm getting old. That's why. You start saying stupid stuff when you get older. Aged. That's the first time I've ever said aged. Seriously. Anyways, past 15, 20 years, I've aged maybe a total of, we'll split it in half, 8, 9 years. How about that? How about I do this? I'm just going to ask the chat straight up. How old did you think I looked before I told you that I was 40? I'm just curious. I get a lot of, there is no wrong answer. You want to say 60, that's fine. I don't get offended. It doesn't bother me. I'm just curious because I've gotten a wide range of, how old people think I am. Like some people, I've gotten as low as like 22. Then I'm like, all right, now you're just pulling my leg. I know better than that. But I've also gotten, 35. Usually it's high 20s, low 30s that people guess. That's usually the range. Like the most common range that people guess for how old they think I am is between, I'm going to say 20, like actually not like goofing around, between 24 and 38 is probably the biggest gap as far as how old people think I am. But no, I'm 40. Hopefully the next 10 years I don't like accelerate as far as aging. We'll see. Hey, if it happens, it happens, all right? If it happens, it happens. Can't really worry about it. Control what you can control and leave everything else up to fate and God. You do what you can do. Great crowd we have for this live show. I haven't been able to do a live show in a while, so appreciate everybody showing up. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. We will be doing a special live show for the new year, and we will be talking about the new slogan, New Year, New Dude. We have a lot of new stuff coming to go on Blue Dude Patreon page. Just because the regular season and bowl season is ending does not mean that Patreon contests go away. Like I said earlier, every month we will have a drawing where I pay one Patreon the full month membership. Doesn't matter if it's a $5 Patreon, $10 Patreon, 20. I am paying for your membership for that month if I draw your name, and this is going to be an every month type of deal. March Madness. If you're a basketball guy and you like, the whole bracket thing where you guess who's going to win, try to get the most right, then now is the time to join Patreon page for as little as $1 a month. That's right. $1 a month. We created a new bracket on the Patreon page, $1 a month. You don't get very many perks with $1 a month. You get access to the Patreon page. That's about it. But you're still supporting the channel. $2 Patreons is when you can start, participating in contests. You join the $2 slot, and you can start guessing on the score prediction contest, the championship week contest, the bowl prediction contest, and the March Madness contest. I'll even make this stipulation. All right, for the free membership for a month contest, if I draw a $1 member, I can't stop there. I have to pay at least $5 worth of membership. So let's say I draw a member who only has $1 membership. I will pay that, and then I will draw again. If I draw a $10 on that one, I will pay that one as well. So that would be a total of $11 for that month. It has to equal at least $5 for me to stop. I'm not going to pay $1 Patreon. I'm done. I'm paying $1. No. We have to at least match 5. And if on the second drawing it goes over 5, so be it. $21, I can do it. No problem. So we're going to do that. See how people like that. And this is going to be every month. It's not like 1 month and I stop. That's it. No, this is forever. We're going to do this every month forever. Somebody gets a free membership every month. And trust me, we'll think of all sorts of contests. All right. Guess what number's in my head? We're giving $10. Stuff like that if we have to. I'm serious. Anyways, I got to roll, guys, because you already know it's Christmas Eve, so you already know what happens tomorrow. You already know, especially if you have a family, a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, so I'm going to wrap this up. Appreciate you guys coming over. I know it's Christmas Eve, a lot of family stuff going on for everybody. Everybody's busy. I am very grateful that you guys took the time to watch the live show and support Golden Blue Dude. You guys are awesome subscriber base. Quick update. on subscriber count. Just in case you're wondering, we are up to 12,262 subscribers. How about that, guys? We are chugging along. Tim Prangley, right in under the horn. Thank you for the $20 donation. Says Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday, Chris. Yes. A lot of people, just in case you didn't know, Chris is my first name. I'm pretty sure everybody knew that, but just in case, yes, that is my first name. And Tim is a great supporter and subscriber of Gold and Blue Dude, and we're going to do some more live shows with the guy. I know he's busy. I know he's a teacher, and he's molding young minds, but it's my humble personal opinion that I do think that Tim Prangley needs to start a YouTube channel, man. You got the chops for it. I'm telling you, you got the chops. BVD, you're not the first person that's told me that I look like a Chris. A lot of people tell me that. So I think if I had a guessing contest and I said, hey, try to guess my first name, most people would say Chris because I've gotten that all my life. So that's actually a good comment, BVD, because it's funny because it's true. Tim says, get me your Zelle or Venmo so you can get that whole 20. Man, that is not necessary, Tim. That's not necessary. I appreciate you supporting the channel, man. You're awesome. You're awesome, man. A big shout out to Tim Prangley. But Tim, I'm telling you, I know that you're a teacher and I know you don't have much time, but you don't have to do like me and do a video every day. Seriously, I think you have the chops to where if you started your own YouTube channel and you did like one video a week, if you can just designate one day to where you could do 10, 15-minute video, I think you would do well. That's just my opinion. Do what you will with it. That's my opinion. I think you got what it takes to have a successful YouTube channel. So on my way out, let me shout out some people that I missed earlier. I tried to get everybody. Shout out to Tom Piper. Let's see, Tim Bales. I see you. Roger Dodger, great subscriber. Gummy for real. Connor Johnson. I see you. Tim Prangley, of course. Got to shout him out. Brownie Talk Sports. Cindy Machado. I like that last name, Machado. There was a fighter. Can't think of his first name. Was it Manny Machado? Something Machado. He was a good fighter. But anyways, I've always liked that last name. Let's see. BVD, shouting you out, buddy. Y'all go check out Big Ball Daddy's channel. He's got a good YouTube channel going on over there. Porsenstein. Did I say that correctly? Porsenstein, or is it Porsenstein? Porsenstein. There we go. I think I nailed it. Porsenstein. Shout out Ferris. Shout out Larry Pilgrim. Shout out your boy Jay. Shout out Aaron. Alan Aaron, I see you. And anybody else? Kelly McCourt, right before the horn. There you go. And by the way, if you haven't got a Golden Blue and koozie, I've been sending those out. Make sure to email me at refsuck@gmail.com. That is refsssuk@gmail.com, and we will send you a free Gold and Blue Dude koozie. And I've been sending those out to my Patreons, and I had to actually send out two. Why is that moving on? Y'all see that in my back screen? Are you freaking kidding me? Can I not? How did that freaking happen? Look. I'm trying to close the show, and it's in my background. How did that happen? Look at that. Look. Oh, now it went out of the background. I don't know how I did that. Now it's out of the background. Technology confuses me sometimes. But anyways, on the way out, I see Christian. I see saw one more. Richard Sather and Albert Sancho. Right beneath the horn. I got you guys. There we go. Anyways, y'all have a good night. Merry Christmas. Remember, Christmas is about family. It's not about presents. It's about being around your loved ones, because you never know when your name is going to be called. You never know. So enjoy every day of life. Soak it in. Be around the ones that you love, and be around the ones that make you stronger. Get rid of dead weight if you don't need. And I'm not saying this in a negative, like being mean or whatever. But some people do bring you down, and you don't need those type of people in your life. Stick with people, be with friends that lift you up and build you up. And those friends aren't always going to say something that you like. Sometimes the truth hurts. So criticism is not a bad thing. And of course, I get criticized a lot because people disagree with me a lot. But you know what? I look at it. If I can apply it, I do. If I can't, I'll move on. That's the way you got to approach life. Anyways, y'all have a good night. Appreciate y'all stopping by. A lot of support for Christmas Eve. Blew me away. Didn't know that this was going to be this big of a crowd. Wet Blanket, I see you before we get out of here. I see you, man. Y'all have a good night. Merry Christmas.